What is the need for religions and prophets?
Why did God allow other religions to be corrupted?
How do you know that the Quran has not changed?
Can you leave a child in the middle of the road and ask him to find his home? No. There was never more than one religion. Never. And that's why the Quran spoke to the Christians directly. The Quran spoke to the Jewish people directly. The Quran spoke to the idol worshippers directly. So the Quran amazingly is speaking to all people. The Quran came for humanity.
Brother Adnan Rashid, welcome to our cross-questioning concept. In this concept, we are going to ask some tough questions that are asked by the atheists. When you're ready, we can start.
I'm ready.
What is the need for religions and prophets?
The need for religions and prophets is to guide people. If people don't have guidance, if you don't have a roadmap to live a life, how are you going to live a life? Everyone will be doing everything. So that's why there have to be limits, there have to be regulations, there have to be directions in order to reach our destinations. So we have purpose in life, and that purpose is clarified, defined by religion and prophets. Prophets bring the religion as a roadmap. So prophets are guides, they are guides, and religion is the roadmap. So we follow the roadmap to reach our destination, which is success in this life and the hereafter.
Can't we understand it on our own?
Can you leave a child in the middle of the road and ask him to find his home? Or if you leave a man in the middle of the desert, somewhere in a huge desert, can that person find his own way without any compass in his hand? No. So to find way, you have to have direction, you have to follow stars, you have to follow footsteps, you have to follow those paths people have already walked on. So that's why directions and instructions are absolutely crucial for one to find way. So that, just like you cannot leave a man in the middle of the desert without any directions and expect him to find his way, just like that, every human needs directions in life to be successful, spiritually as well as physically.
Can't the purpose of life be found without having a prophet?
It would be impossible to do that because, first of all, how would a person define the purpose of life without a prophet coming from God telling you what the purpose of life is? Because in that case, the purpose of life would be different from man to man, from person to person, from city to city, from culture to culture, from time to time, right? So you wouldn't have one purpose of life, you would have a billion purposes of life. That's why God, who created us, sends the prophets to tell us the ultimate purpose of life, which is to worship God, to make this world a better place. And the only way to do that is to follow your Creator. Just like when a manufacturer makes a car, they send you a booklet, right? And they tell you what the purpose of this car is and how to drive it. So our Creator, who has made us, who has made this universe, knows best what we need to do and how we need to live. And that's why purpose of life comes from the Maker. If there is a Maker and there is a Maker, then He's the one we follow, and His instructions are more important than anyone else's.
Why did God allow other religions to be corrupted?
God allowed other religions to be corrupted because they were not for eternity. They were not for all of humanity. They were sent for specific people in specific times. And if those religions were not changed, then those people would continue to follow them as the truth, or as the ultimate truth, or as the truth for eternity. But that wasn't the case. They were not meant to be forever. They were not meant to be the final message to humanity. So for example, when the messengers came to Israelites, they came to those villages, to those people, for those times. So messengers were sent to every town, every city, let's say, or to every people to do a specific job. When the job was done, the message was kind of removed, right? Cancelled, right? Because a new message would come afterwards. So when new message was coming, what's the point of keeping the old message? So it was, in my opinion, a deliberate method of God telling humanity that this is not for everyone. This is not for all of you. This is for those people for that time, and there is something new coming in the future.
Couldn't a single religion come from the beginning?
There was never more than one religion. Never. There was always one religion for a people who were confined by the sea, by land, by challenges, by dangers around them. So in the past, okay, people were not traveling around the world as we are today, right? There were very limited by their geography. So when a message came to them, it was only one message to them. Okay, so when Lut came, he came to his people. Lut did not go to the people of Ibrahim. When Yahya alayhi salam came at the time of Isa alayhi salam, Yahya alayhi salam was doing his own job. Isa alayhi salam was doing his own job, right? So even though there could be two prophets at the same time, right? But they are sent for specific jobs to do specific things. So there was only one message with one prophet to one people, right? There was never another message for them, okay? The Quran is unique. The Quran came at a time when the world had become very dynamic. People, especially in the Middle East, they got to know each other. The Christians and the Jews and the Arabs knew each other quite well, right? So the Quran came for all of them. That's why the Quran spoke to the Christians directly. The Quran spoke to the Jewish people directly. The Quran spoke to the idol worshippers directly. So the Quran amazingly is speaking to all people. The Quran came for humanity. The Quran came for An-Nas. An-Nas means people.
How do you know that the Quran has not changed?
Good question. We know that because we have copies from the time of the Prophet's companions. Those people who learnt the Quran directly from the Prophet himself wrote copies of the Quran. Those copies are still available today to us. We can still see them, we can still read them. One of them is found in Topkapi Palace in Turkey, another one is in St. Petersburg, one is in Tashkent, one is in Hosseini Mosque in Egypt, and there are Sana manuscripts, they have been documented. So we can read the Quran from the first century of Islam, when many companions of the Prophet Muhammad were alive, who were themselves potentially reading from these copies. We have those copies. When we do a comparison between those copies, the text and the text we read today, it is exactly the same word by word. Word by word, the copies read by the companions, the disciples of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are exactly the same as copies we read today. This is how we know that the Quran has not changed.
Thank you for answering our questions. We'll be returning back with tougher questions.
Okay, no problem. Bring those questions on and we will do the same, inshallah. We will try our best to answer them.